Welcome friends, welcome to this session of Chaitanya Charitramrit, and we have seen the introduction, or the first part of it. Now we will be going to see the second part of introduction. And first we have to understand the subject matter, then only we will be able to understand in the better way Chaitanya Charitramrita. Actually, first you understand why we are doing Chaitanya Charitramrita. Simple, this Kartik month is of Srimati Radharani. And if we have to learn about Srimati Radharani in the initial stage, those who are newcomers, it is not correct. We have to understand Srimati Radharani only after we understand Krishna, and we fully understand that Krishna is away from Maya. And for that understanding, first you have to know about Krishna, you have to read Bhagavad Gita, you have to read Bhagavatam and understand how Krishna helps those people who are not in the Maya, but in Krishna consciousness, who are opposed to Maya. Those who are in Krishna consciousness, they are actually opposing Maya. Sometimes Krishna conscious people face more humiliation, more trouble, more problems, but they are very sweet. Why? Because Krishna gives them problems. So that when they have problem, you call Krishna. And sometimes I feel that my japa is not happening properly. Okay, if there is some sorrow behind it, and then you might call him more intensely. That is the idea. So why? Because when we are fighting with Maya, and the Maya Devi gets upset. Maya Devi doesn't want you to leave her clutches, leave you from her clutches, and she will give you more problems. And if you think that, okay, today is some problem, tomorrow I will do some ton more Krishna consciousness, impossible. Because if you think that tomorrow you are going to do more Krishna consciousness, then definitely Maya Devi will put you in some problem and will not allow you to do Krishna consciousness. हाथ में आया हुआ आदमी और सुना है कि ऐसे लोग जेल में पड़े हुए जिनका रिलीज ऑर्डर पास हो गया है, फिर भी वो बेचारे जेल में है क्योंकि उनको छुड़ाने वाला ही कोई नहीं. And that is rumors. I don't know the correct thing. Please let me, frankly, I am just giving you an example. So even though you are insisting on liberating from Maya, Maya will not allow you to liberate from itself. Why? Because till now you are not having any guru, parampara guru. If you are having one guru, then you are at higher stage. But those who are, so if you want to come out of Maya, and you understand Krishna consciousness, then only you will understand Srimati Radharani. So for newcomers at initial stage, I prefer, instead of speaking of Srimati Radharani herself, I can speak about her mood. And what we have to understand of Srimati Radharani, how she looks and all that is very transcendental. But as we are Buddha, we are Mudha, Manushim Tanumasritam, it is better we understand her bhav, her mood, her intense love towards Krishna. That is what is more important. And when we even go for selecting our bride, or if you want to marry, what we see, okay, दिखने में तो अच्छी है मगर ये तंबाकू खाती है. So we are not much way affected by the looks. Looks should be okay, not that. But गुण क्या है? Transcendentally, whatever, even if you say Krishna is not good, क्योंकि इसने ऐसा किया, but if you say from mouth, okay, कृष्णा ने शिशुपाल को मारा इसलिए कृष्ण गलत है, मगर कृष्णा ने शिशुपाल को मारा है। एक बार आपने कृष्ण का नाम लिया और एक बार अपने कथा का स्मरण किया. If you say, I don't like Krishna because Krishna has killed Shishupala, and but okay, still it is so transcendental that you said one time the word Krishna and you memorized the pastimes that he killed Shishupala, and that much is sufficient to make you transcendental. This is the power of the transcendental power, and the Krishna will do the needful now to attract you towards him. Just remember Krishna. And in some politics I have heard that even if you are defamed, or say even if you are humiliated in the news channel for some reason, still आप news में बने रहो, you be there in news, that increases your number of votes. Same thing is with Krishna. Who can be more greater politician than Krishna, that we have seen in Mahabharata. And Krishna says, okay, मैं आपके स्मरण में बना हुआ हूँ, whether it is favor or unfavor, that is later, but at least I am in there in your memory, and then you will be liberated. But we have to understand that point also. Going against Krishna is becoming an asura. Why to become an asura and that get liberated when we can have the happiness of becoming his friend? But I was just explaining you transcendental power of the Lord Krishna. Even if you curse him, he still thinks, okay, even if you curse me, still you are remembering me, and now I am happy with you. That is the power of transcendence. That is the sweetness of Lord Krishna. You go to a Pandit and you ask him, अगर मैंने रुद्राभिषेक है ना शिव जी का, there is one रुद्राभिषेक about Lord Shiva, and if you chanted Rudra with anger or something mistake is happening while chanting Rudra, Rudra Sukta, and then see what hardships you will go because of that. And you get cursed by the Lord Shiva. You should not chant Rudra with mistakes. No. You should not chant Rudra with anger. No. You should chant it calm and cool and perfect pronunciation. The pronunciation should be perfect. Then only it will reap you benefits. And that too about Maya fruitive activities. But Lord Krishna, very sweet. Even if you don't chant, even if you chant by jokingly, by anger, still Krishna accepts it as a devotion. That is the beauty and sweetness of Lord Krishna. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, more than that. More mercy. How? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, if you don't think, even if you say, वो ग्वाले का नाम भी नहीं लेने वाला मैं, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu folds hands and pleads him, please take my name, please take the name of Krishna, please take the name of Krishna. This request which I am doing, please do chanting. That is coming from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, not from Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna says, whatever I have told you, I have told you. Now it is up to you what to decide. That is what he has said in the 18th chapter. But where Bhagavad Gita instructions are ending, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes in picture. And when Chaitanya, Dwapar Yuga, Lord Krishna, where he said Bhagavad Gita, Kali Yuga, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay, the instructions which I have given in the form when I was a supreme personality of Godhead, the instructions which I have given as a supreme personality of Godhead, now as a devotee, I will help the devotees to make more and more devotion towards Lord Krishna, to get them the happiness of devotion, to get them the supreme happiness of devotion, to give them the love, supreme happiness of loving devotional service toward Lord Krishna. And that is why Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came in this Kali Yuga, to explain Bhagavad Gita, or to how to implement Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So if someone says, okay, you should have taken Bhagavad Gita class or Bhagavatam class, that is all technicalities. How to implement devotion is Chaitanya Charitramrit. And if you want the bhav, you will read Bhagavad Gita, but not with that bhav. You will read Srimad Bhagavatam, but not with that bhav. But if you understand Chaitanya Charitamrita, the love towards Krishna will increase in your heart. And that is where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes as a most important thing, or most important teachings of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes into picture. When I say things, I mean the teachings. Without the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, or without understanding Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's message or the instructions, you will never be able to do the devotion of Lord Krishna so sweetly as Srimati Radharani. And that is why, being this month of Kartik of Srimati Radharani, we will do some Sankirtan movement which has been started by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari, Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari, Yashodhanandana Braja Jana Ranjana, Yashodhanandana Braja Jana Ranjana, Yamuna Tira Banachari, Yamuna Tira Banachari, Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrutyam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudire Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. and the parampara. I am very happy to be in this parampara. And who would have taught me so much of loving devotional service? Everybody is teaching you, and there are a lot of katha. When it says story, it becomes false. No, it's not a false story. It's all katha. It is all truth. So those kathas of different devotees, and I have heard even when I was outside of ISKCON, and I was thinking, when I am getting everything outside of ISKCON, why to join ISKCON? But when I joined ISKCON, and when I have received the taste of loving devotional service, and I decided, abhi chhodne ki baat nahi. The loving devotional service is more important than devotional service. But devotional service is important to get loving devotional service. And if anybody is telling me that I am doing 32 rounds, and one of my Shiksha Gurus told me, you don't matter the number of rounds, you matter the bhav. If you are having great bhav, great love and affection, you are doing in a very great mood, transcendental meditation, and you are in bliss when chanting the name of Lord Krishna. Even if you do 4 rounds, it's okay. I am right now, and when I was at initial stage, now I am a bit say senior, not to speak about it, but now I have to chant 16 rounds. Now I am chanting 16 rounds. Now 7 years have passed, I am chanting 16 rounds. I am not eating onion and garlic. I am not drinking tea and coffee. I am following all the rules and regulations of ISKCON, if I have to speak in one sentence. But I am now following the rules. But at initial stage, my Shiksha Guru used to tell me, okay, even if you are at as to primary stage, don't try to chant 16 rounds. From today itself. No, not necessary. You chant 4 rounds, but chant with bhav, with transcendental mood. That transcendental mood, if you want, you are chanting some. There is an example given by one of my senior devotees. And whenever I am hearing something good from a senior devotee, I accept him as my Shiksha Guru. I will say Shiksha Guru. When I was listening to his class, he was sharing this experience that he knows one person who chants 64 rounds from last 22 years. But still he is coming and complaining, sir, I am chanting 64 rounds for last 22 years, but I am not able to understand the bliss of it. And I don't know what is an ecstasy and bliss. I am not getting that happiness. Because you are not chanting with love. And then what is the way out of it? Shravanam. Yesterday when I was having a class, that is why I didn't take a Bhagavad Gita class in the evening, because I was attending a class of Bhakti Shastri course. That time I was explained that even if you and the chanting should be with the bhav. It should be with great mood. If there is no mood, nice mood of chanting, just you are chanting only for the dutiful purpose, and then that chanting may help you cleansing your heart. Okay, but then after finishing the chanting, again you will be in Maya. Again your heart will become impure. And if you want to get from out of the clutches of Maya, and then you will have to take the shelter of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Now I am chanting 16 rounds, because now, but how I have started the loving devotional service? Because of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Srila Prabhupada ji, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ji, he has written so many books. But I am very happy with my Guru Parampara, my Shiksha Guru, His Grace Vanmali Prabhuji. And when I was at an early stage, he used to take lecture in Mira Road Mandir, Nectar of Devotion, Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu. And I have heard this Nectar of Devotion from His Grace Vanmali Prabhuji in Mira Road Temple. At that time, I was very sad, if I speak correctly, 2001 or 2004. At that time I heard it. But when at 2011, still it took so many years for me to join. But when I came into 2011, as it was Purushottam Mas, that time I left all the onion, garlic, tea and coffee for 1 month only. But I was again attending all the ISKCON programs. And when I left all this onion, garlic, tea and coffee, as I am a Brahmana, I will not to what to speak. I don't even think about non-veg. But onion, garlic, tea and coffee, yeah. But when I left all that onion, garlic, tea and coffee, and then I understood properly the loving devotional service of. But all with efforts was only because of the learning which I have done in Mira Road. So it becomes my prime duty to pay my obeisances to all those my Shiksha Gurus and my Guru Maharaj, to everyone, to Om Adnyanatimirandasya Jnana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitamyena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Tadati Swapadantikam. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitana Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisheshu Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari Bol. So I am very lucky, most luckiest person, and just because of why to say just, only because of I have understood Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and now my japa 16 rounds, sometimes I chant more rounds, sometimes I chant 32, sometimes I chant 48 rounds, but that chanting with bhav is only possible because of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And to introduce me to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, His Grace Vanmali Prabhuji, and to continue with it, His Grace Madhav Charan Prabhuji in Virar. He again introduced me to the parampara of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And I pay all my obeisances to these two gems of my life to give me the experience of loving devotional service towards God. And with that, we start with the introduction of Chaitanya Charitramrit. And we have seen in the past lectures To understand Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, main thing you require is, first you have to understand that he is Lord Krishna himself. As yesterday we have seen that when we are understanding the Bala Leela or the child Leela of Lord Krishna, first we have to understand that Lord Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And only when we understood that, then only it is very easy, or then only we can have the supreme happiness of how he does the child Leela of a small child and of Damodar Leela. Then only we can enjoy supreme happiness, or we can have the supreme happiness only if we understand the Lord Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but for our benefit doing Bala Leela. And so that our Vatsalya Bhav is generated, motherhood is generated, created in our hearts, and the heart and soul gets cleansed of our past good deeds and bad deeds, and we become more and more transcendental and getting more and more attracted towards Krishna's devotion. That is the aim of all these Leelas. So you have understood the Leela, okay, then you forgot about it, and then that is no use of understanding these Leelas, not up to a particular extent, okay, but not more than that. As yesterday we were understanding, and I can tell you the introduction of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Chaitanya Charitramrit, and whatever is given by the lectures of Srila Prabhupada ji in the ISKCON temple, and that lectures we are understanding through this introduction, and I can now dare to read whatever is given here. To learn how Krishna enjoys pleasure, we must study the first 9 cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam, and then we should study the 10th canto, in which Krishna's pleasure potency is displayed in his pastimes with Radharani and the damsels of Raja. That is what I am telling you. First you have to understand Srimad Bhagavad Gita, then you have to understand Srimad Bhagavatam, and then only you can understand Chaitanya Charitramrit. That is actually the procedure we have to follow. But even if you understand Chaitanya Charitramrit at the beginning also, no problem. That will do nothing but increase your devotion towards Lord Krishna. Unfortunately, unintelligent people turn at once to the sports of Krishna in the Dasamaskanda, the 10th canto. Krishna's embracing Radharani or his dancing with the cowherd girls in the Rasa dance are generally not understood by ordinary men. That is what I was telling you. Because they consider that these pastimes in the light of mundane lust, that is all mudhas. They foolishly think that Krishna is like themselves and that he embraces the gopis just as an ordinary man embraces a young girl. Some people thus become interested in Krishna because they think that his religion allows indulgence in sex. This is not Krishna Bhakti, love of Krishna, but Prakrita Sahajiya materialistic lust. This is total nonsense. To avoid such errors, we should understand what Radha Krishna actually is. And because of Chaitanya Charitamrita's introduction, we are able to understand Srimati Radharani. That is the correct way to understand Srimati Radharani. And because we are understanding just the bhav of Srimati Radharani. Radha and Krishna display their pastimes through Krishna's internal energy, the pleasure potency, and that is what is the more important. Satchidananda Vigraha. And I am doing so much of Krishna consciousness, but am I getting Ananda? That is the reason what we have to do. The pleasure potency of Krishna's internal energy is most difficult subject matter. And unless one understands what Krishna is, one cannot understand it. Krishna does not take any pleasure in this material world. That is first point which we have to understand. And people say that I've got I am a senior devotee and I am fully Krishna consciousness, so anybody can serve me, do my seva. No. only who are doing 24/7 Krishna consciousness, only those people or senior devotees you can offer your seva to them and make them as Shiksha Guru. I was listening to one of senior devotees lecture, and if I can take his name, we can remember his name, I will be happy to take his name. He was giving me an instructions. Okay, what we will understand what he said. He said that a president of the temple can be your Shiksha Guru. So all the knowledge which I am telling you is not from my mind. If you feel नहीं आपको ये किसने बताया, नाम याद नहीं आ रहा है, you can come to me, I will tell you his name. I am not able to remember his name. You can very well contact me later on and I can tell you his name. And he said only the temple president can become your valid Shiksha Guru, because he is allowing you, asking you to, he is offering you to, and he is allowing you to do seva in his temple. And that is your Shiksha Guru. What is Shiksha Guru's role? First, allow you to do the seva of Lord Krishna in his temple, and if that he is doing, then he can be our Shiksha Guru. But the temple president, not the managing committee. When he is a temple president, and you have to make him as Shiksha Guru, and I am very happy that His Grace Vanmali Prabhuji is the temple president and vice president of Mira Road, and I can definitely make him as my Shiksha Guru. I am very happy to have him as my Shiksha Guru. For because of him, I understood Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu or Nectar of Devotion. The object of Krishna's pleasure potency is Srimati Radharani. Krishna exhibits his potency as Radharani and then engages in loving affairs with her. In other words, Krishna does not take pleasure in his external energy, but exhibits his external energy, his pleasure potency as Radharani, and then enjoys with her. Thus, Krishna manifests himself as Radharani in order to enjoy his internal pleasure potency. Of the many extensions, expansions, and incarnations of the Lord, the pleasure potency is the foremost and the chief. This we have to understand. Radharani is not a different girl. Radharani is being emanated from Lord Krishna himself, and he created this. He created Srimati Radharani from his left side, from his heart, to enjoy the pleasure potency. And when we hear those pastimes, we enjoy the pleasure potency. And when we even see the nonsense romantic films, it's of Maya, it's nonsense. I am not speaking about how the quality of the film. No, I don't have anything to say about Mayic activities. But when I am speaking about transcendental, anything of Maya is nonsense. And when we see some romantic films, we feel pleasure. Same way Krishna, Lord Krishna created Srimati Radharani to show his internal pleasure. The object of Krishna's pleasure potency is Radharani. The pleasure potency. He is potential enough to kill so much of asuras. But what about love? आप जो ये मारामारी कर रहे हो ना, हम लोग बोलते हैं नॉर्मल हिंदी, आप जो ये मारामारी करते हो ना, इससे आप ऐसा कीजिए, मारामारी मत कीजिए, बैठिए और जरा प्यार से एक दूसरे को बात कीजिए. And we have heard all the pastimes of Lord Krishna as a warrior, as a valor. But how to understand him, how he is sweet, and then you have to love him. And that love potency, if you want to understand, you have to go through Srimati Radharani. For only that purpose he has created Srimati Radharani, so that we get the pleasure, supreme happiness of his pleasure potency, and we get the supreme pleasure. His pleasure potency as Radharani. In other words, Krishna does not take pleasure in his external energy. He does not take any pleasure in Maya, but exhibits his internal energy. So that is why he is exhibiting his internal energy, his pleasure potency as Srimati Radharani, and then enjoys with her. Thus, Krishna manifests himself as Radharani in order to enjoy his internal pleasure potency. Of the many extensions, expansions, and incarnations of the Lord, the pleasure potency is the foremost and the chief. And if you also want to enjoy the pleasure potency of his, Lord Krishna and Srimati Radharani, you have to take the Chaitanya Charitra and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's shelter. It is not that Radharani is separate from Krishna. Radharani is also Krishna, for there is no difference between the energy and the energetic. That we have to understand. Without energy, there is no meaning of the energetic, and without the energetic, there is no energy. Similarly, without Radha, there is no meaning to Krishna, and without Krishna, there is no meaning to Radha. Because of this, the Vaishnava philosophy first of all says obeisances to, first of all pays obeisances to and worships the internal pleasure potency of the Supreme Lord. Thus the Lord and his potency are always referred to as Radha Krishna. Lord and his potency. Lord without potency, Lord with potency. Shakti, Shaktiman. Shaktiman without Shakti, only man. No Shakti. Is it possible to devote him? No. Is it possible even to devote a person who is unemployed? No. But he is a barrister, and in a company he is a legal advisor, legal officer. He is having 2 lakhs of salary, potency, right? And now you will love him. Same way here, he is having all the potency. He can create worlds, he can destroy worlds. Pralava, Prabhava, Pralayas Tatha. But pleasure potency, okay, you are. Some people have pleasure in action. But what about sweet love? More pleasure, and that is exhibited by Srimati Radharani. That is why Shakti and Shaktiman named together, Radha, Krishna. That is why first comes Radha and then only Krishna. Because this Shakti, Krishna is having importance as Shaktiman. Similarly, those who worship Narayana first of all utter the name of Lakshmi as Lakshmi Narayana. Same way. Similarly, those who worship Lord Rama first of all utter the name of Sita. In any case, Sita Rama, Radha Krishna, Lakshmi Narayana, the potency always comes first. Radha and Krishna are one, and when Krishna desires to enjoy pleasure, he manifests himself as Radharani. And how can one, and I was hearing the lecture of a senior devotee, he was telling me why Radha, whether Radha and Krishna are married. They are married in Bhandirvan. There is one pastime. If you don't know the correct pastime, don't speculate. Inquire. Don't speculate nonsense. And you will not even, you will be, go with many hardships in hell if you are doing any mental speculation. But if you want to correct understanding, but how, and I was listening to a senior devotee lecture, he was explaining this, and he was telling me Srimati Radharani is the form of Lord Krishna's body of the left side, and the body is same. Same body, same soul. And how one person can marry to himself? And Vinayak Badve marrying to Mr. Vinayak Badve marrying to Vinayak Badve. How that is possible? Whether I can marry myself? Nice example he has given. That is why I am sharing it with you. So nobody can marry, a person cannot marry himself. Yes, for marriage, he requires another lady. But Lord Krishna and Radharani are both, Radharani is Krishna and Krishna is Radharani. If they are so, there is Lord Srimati Radharani is the expansion from his left side, from his left hand, from the heart. Srimati Radha, that is the Srimati Radharani's expansion from Lord Krishna himself. And how they can marry? They are the same, they are not different. How the same can marry? Although we speak of when Krishna desires, just when he did desire, we cannot say. Just when he did desire, we cannot say. We only speak in this way, because in conditioned life, we take it that everything has a beginning. However, in spiritual life, everything is absolute. There is no beginning, there is no end. Everything is absolute. Why? And so there is neither beginning nor end. Yet in order to understand that Radha and Krishna are one and that, they also become divided. The question when automatically comes to mind. When Krishna desired to enjoy his pleasure potency, he manifested himself in the separate form of Radharani. And when he wanted to understand himself through the agency of Radha, he united with Radharani. And that unification is called Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Lord Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna nahi anya. Together, when they came together, they united so much that they became to one form. This is all explained by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj in the 5th verse of Chaitanya Charitramrit. Okay. Now, to complete with this, we will take this para. It suits for the newcomers also. It is not possible to imagine how far this material manifestation extends, this Mayaka world, material world. In the material world, everything is calculated by imagination or by some imperfect method. But the Vedic literatures give real information of what lies beyond the material universe. Since it is not possible to obtain information of anything beyond this material nature by experimental means, those who believe only in experimental knowledge may doubt the Vedic conclusions. For such people cannot even calculate how far this universe extends, nor can they reach far into the universe itself. That which is beyond our power of conception is called achintya, inconceivable. And one cannot understand how this universe is. And one can go to the moon, but can you measure how much the universe is extended? Still today even there are new planets, and researchers and scientists have discovered new planets. Still they are discovering new and new planets, new and new stars, new and new planetary systems. Why? Because you cannot understand this universe. You may be a great scientist, but you cannot understand this particular earth, but to speak about the entire planetary systems. What extent it is. That which is beyond our power of conception is called achintya, and this is when we don't chintya we can understand, achintya we cannot understand. Inconceivable. It is useless to argue or speculate about the inconceivable. If something is truly inconceivable, then why do you argue according on that? It is not subject of speculation or experimentation. Our energy is limited and our sense perception is limited. Therefore, we must rely on Vedic conclusions regarding the subject matter which is inconceivable. Knowledge of superior nature must simply be accepted without argument. And that how it is possible? That is what said. How is it possible to argue about something to which we have no access? Why you keep on doing mental speculation? When you don't understand it, don't do mental speculation. Contact me. The method of understanding transcendental subject matter is given by Lord Krishna himself in the Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna tells Arjuna at the beginning of the 4th chapter. And if one has to understand beyond this Maya, and then you have to understand Srimad Bhagavad Gita. And Vedic understanding may be very tedious, but then one can go for Bhagavad Gita to understand Vedas. Imam vivasvate yogam proktavan aham avyayam vivasvan manave praha manur ikshvakave bravit. I instructed this imperishable science of yoga to the sun god Vivasvan. And Lord Krishna has previously, and to talk about parampara of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, one can now understand the parampara of the Bhagavad Gita also. I instructed this imperishable science of yoga to sun god. First Lord Krishna explained this Bhagavad Gita to sun god Vivasvan. See, I am telling you, the sun god is just the post, and the person on the the God, particular personality of God, the post of sun god is Vivaswan, and Vivaswan instructed it to Manu, the father of mankind, and Manu in turn instructed it to Ikshvaku. Bhagavad Gita 4th chapter 1st verse. This is the method of parampara or disciplic succession. Similarly, Srimad Bhagavatam explains the Krishna imparted knowledge into the heart of Brahma, and that is what we have seen regarding Brahma Sahita. All these references are given here. Similarly, Srimad Bhagavatam explains that Krishna imparted knowledge into the heart of Brahma, the first created being within this universe. Brahma imparted those lessons to his disciple Narada. Narada imparted that knowledge to his disciple Vyasadeva. Vyasadeva imparted it to Madhvacharya. And from Madhvacharya, the knowledge came down to Madhavendra Puri, and then to Ishwarapuri, and from him to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, being Lord Krishna himself, he accepted Diksha from Ishwarapuri, and he is a disciple of Ishwarapuri. And Ishwarapuri is Guru. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is his disciple, of whom? Ishwarapuri, of his divine grace Ishwarapuri. And if Ishwarapuri, and if Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has a Guru, even though he is Krishna himself, he is the Supreme Personality of God himself, accepts him, Ishwarapuri as Guru, then why he should not? One may ask, if Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself, then why did he need a spiritual master? Same thing is said. Of course, he did not need a spiritual master, but because he was playing the role of Acharya, one who teaches by example, he accepted a spiritual master. I mean, you have to become an Acharya, you have to do it by an example. And those brahmacharis and sannyasis of our ISKCON, His Holiness Gurus and His Grace Brahmachari Prabhujis, and if all they are exhibiting the same, they can be treated as Acharyas. 24/7 Krishna consciousness. Only they should be treated as Acharyas. Even Krishna himself accepted as spiritual master, for that is the system. In this way, Lord sets the example for men. We should not think, however, that the Lord takes a spiritual master because he is in the want of knowledge. He is simply stressing the importance of accepting the disciplic succession. So one can understand by this lecture why we should have a Guru. Although we may not be in touch with the original personality of who first imparted the knowledge, we may receive the same knowledge through this process of transmission. In Srimad Bhagavatam, it is stated that Krishna, the absolute truth, the personality of Godhead, transmitted transcendental knowledge into the heart of Brahma, and that is how Vedic knowledge evolved. It was directly transmitted in the heart of Brahma. Lord Krishna is the supreme power, he can do anything. One depends directly upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thus, there are two processes by which one may receive knowledge. One depends directly upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is situated as the super soul within the heart of the living entities, and the other depends upon the Guru or spiritual master, who is an expansion of Krishna. And spiritual master is none other than Lord Krishna himself, and thus Krishna transmits information both from within and from without, and means you can get from the heart of Paramatma, in Hridayastha Janardana gives knowledge of Vedic knowledge, or the Guru gives you Vedic knowledge. We simply have to receive it, that is our job. If knowledge is received in this way, it doesn't matter whether it is conceivable or not, just keep understanding it. In Srimad Bhagavatam, there is great deal of information given about the Vaikuntha planetary systems, which are beyond material universe. That we will understand later when we are having Bhagavatam class. All this explanation, when we are going to understand the verses of Chaitanya Charitamrita, we will be able to understand all those things in this. This is all things given in nutshell. Okay, we can, as we are going to see about Chaitanya Charitramrit, whether it is possible to complete in 1 month, no, but at least some part of it we can cover it. Whether it is possible only in Kartik Mahina, but whenever we are having time, and if you want to hear it more, please attend ISKCON Virar West, Global City, G12, flat number 101. You can attend here, you can come to me. Okay, apne Kartik Mahina, this Kartik Mahina I am taking it on mobile, but does that I am not reading it when I am not on mobile? No, the classes are on. If I am not able to have any audience, okay, I am reading it by myself, and I am being instructed to read Srila Prabhupada ji books. And this is book which I am reading is just I am sharing with you. I am having all my instructions by my Shiksha Gurus and even my Diksha Guru that okay, you keep reading Srila Prabhupada ji books. So I read at my home. If you are there with me morning 8 o'clock, I will share it with you. If not, Hare Krishna. Everything is wish of Lord Krishna, and what I have to do is just to do service. May you become blessed by Gopinath. And here we will have to learn about the conclusion of this. And I think this is the conclusive paragraph. Okay, fine. And we will try to understand the conclusive sentences of this introduction, and then from tomorrow we will start with the verses of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Chaitanya Charitramrita. Very sweet, and I am very happy to share with this. The author of Chaitanya Charitamrita prays that just as Krishna attracted the gopis by the sweet sound of his flute, he will also attract the reader's mind by that transcendental vibration. And that is what is the blessings given by all this parampara. What blessing they have given you. She is so sweet. May you become blessed by Gopinath. And what more is remaining in this nonsense world? The author of the Chaitanya Charitamrita prays, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is the author, that just as Krishna attracted the gopis by the sweet sound of his flute, so sweet, he will also attract the reader's mind by that transcendental vibration. That transcendental vibration, if we get attracted, and what to speak about the supreme happiness, I just can't explain. Nayanam galad ashrudhara vadanam gadgada hrudayagira pulakai nichitam vapukada tava nama smarane bhavishyati. And I am not able to get the okay, exact words I am able to understand. And as we have completed today the introduction of Chaitanya Charitamrita in some parts, and there is an introduction of all the chapters, but as it is we are going to see those chapters, then what is the, and we will try to understand just why to have just an introduction when we can have understand fully. So thank you very much for attending this session of Chaitanya Charitamrita, introduction to it. And from tomorrow we are going to start verses, and I think first I have to do this with Hindi also. Okay, tomorrow I will read this introduction and explain this introduction in Hindi also, and whether it will be the same lecture exactly what I have told you today, no, that may not be possible. I have not written those points, just whatever is explained in English I will explain it in Hindi. I leave it to my His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ji and my Diksha Guru and my Shiksha Guru. I leave it to them. Whatever they bestow upon me, benedictions, if I can explain you more good in Hindi, okay, there might be more points than this which I can explain. Not exactly, but okay, some examples may be different, some points also may be more, maybe less, but then that depends upon the subject matter what we are learning. And this is the introductory lecture of introduction of Chaitanya Charitamrita, and Chaitanya Charitamrita, and when we will understand it fully, we will one thing very understand that there is very nice way of understanding loving devotional service is through Sankirtana, and Sankirtana is also sweet, so sweet. How it is Hare Krishna, Radha and Krishna, both are there in that. the pleasure potency, the pleasure, see the potency, pleasure potency, and where will you get the pleasure? See, your entire life goes to have some pleasure. You take the entire responsibility of a lady getting married to her, and because you want some pleasure, nonsense pleasure of Maya. But here pleasure potency is available, free. Just you enter into the world of transcendental, and so that takes nothing. That takes nothing. That takes not even, I don't want even your money. Just enter into this pleasure potency. And how to enter into this pleasure potency of Lord Krishna and Srimati Radharani? And through Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Why? How? And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has, because of that, started the Hare Krishna Sankirtan movement. And some people may say, आप संकीर्तन कीजिए, आपको लाइफ अच्छा जाएगा. वो that is all nonsense. लाइफ मेरा बेकार जाए तो भी I don't have any reason. Okay, मैं वो सब कुछ सोचता नहीं. मैं सिर्फ यही सोचता. I only think this. Even my life goes nonsense, I am not worried about it. The pleasure potency which I am interested in is this, and that we can experience only by having the help of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and that we will speak when my Chaitanya Parampara of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then by chanting Hare Krishna. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Jaya Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Jai Baladeva, Jai Subhadra. Jagannatha Swami Nayana Pathagami, Nayana Pathagami Bhavatu me. Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Jai Baladeva, Jai Subhadra. Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Jai Baladeva, Jai Subhadra. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Gurudev. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. And there are various Nam Aprats while chanting the name of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And 10 Nam Aprats, and the 1 or 2 are included more. But for chanting Gaur Hari, there is no Nam Aprat. Just chant Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Sachi Mata Prana Ghana Gaura Hari, 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 Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. And you can definitely join me. And evening also, there is 7 o'clock, there is Gaur Arti. And hearing the introduction, at least some love must have been there in your mind. And you can join me on the internet, mobile, no time, fine. Corona, fine. You can join with me on the internet, Facebook group, Radha Krishna ISKCON Virar West Radha Krishna Center group. And you can even come and attend in this center and join me for doing Gaur Arti, 1 or 2 people, and social distancing and mask is required. But then after doing all this, why you then the rules of government is to follow, and the government is also should be treated as God. And government is also non-different than God. If the human beings are not different than Krishna, then why the government is not Krishna? Even the government is made up of human beings which are not different than Krishna. So everybody is Krishna. And if that eyes we are having by seeing this, then why not follow those government rules? Everybody is Krishna. And we have to understand Krishna. First see every Krishna everywhere in everyone. Animals, okay, don't treat them so respectfully as Krishna. But then don't humiliate them. Don't offer animals prasadam. That is very wrong, which I have read in ISKCON temple of Vrindavan, prasadam hall. Don't offer prasadam to animals. That is very wrong. But offering prasadam to human beings, Lord Krishna resides in their heart as Paramatma. And you can give them as prasadam, so that he will start devoting Lord Krishna. Animals will not start devoting Lord Krishna. Then why to give it to them? But if you offer prasadam to human beings, and as they are, Paramatma is residing in their heart, that Paramatma will be awakened, and those human beings will start start devotion of loving or service towards Lord Krishna. He may start at least toward doing that. So please attend this Chaitanya Charitramrit session. Tomorrow the same introduction will be in Hindi, and evening there will be Gaur Arti in Bhagavad Gita class in Hindi. Please attend that either by internet or by attending at my place. Okay. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki